Time to check the firewood. Let's see if we can push this drying process a little bit. Time for the moisture meter test. Well, less than 20%. Yeah, I think we're good. So this small stack of firewood here was split probably in the fall. I want to say maybe November of last year. And I continue to scrounge for more and more firewood because we are selling out of our bundles almost every day. And it's been so hot, not almost, it has been too hot to really be cutting trees down. I have dead trees. And I have checked this wood here. This is the sweet gum that you might recall me splitting, and I'll put a link to that up here, that video. I think that was back in March. I've opened up a few of these pieces here, and the moisture content is probably just a little bit over 20. I'd like this to dry a little bit more. I know sweet gum dries very, very quickly, but I would feel much more comfortable with my customers getting really good dry wood ready to burn. And this is probably about, maybe a cord and a half or so of mostly red and white oak, which has been sitting here for about a year. And this is kind of my premium stuff. I might actually be selling this by the face cord or half cord. I've had a few people interested in wanting to purchase this, but as you well know, it takes a long time for oak to dry. And I've opened it up a couple of times. Again, it's in that kind of low 20% range, which I'd like it to be a little bit drier than that before I sell it, because obviously this is going to be sold at a bit of a premium price. So one of the reasons that I have wanted to set up my wood drying area here kind of in this linear fashion, as you can see, is these racks are on the absolute pure west facing side of my property. And I don't know if you can see, even though it's a pretty hot day, I don't know if you can see any movement here from leaves in the trees. We're getting just a little bit of a westerly breeze. And so air is continually moving here from, west to east. And this is straight north there. That's due north where the tractor is. So I get continual air movement through here. That's why I wanted to put the racks in this orientation so that I've got air moving through the air spaces between the split rounds. So let's bag some stuff up, and I think I can probably get about a dozen or so bags out of what I have here, and I've got another small pile of this down at the wood pavilion. So we can restock our supply, maybe get us through the next few days, and then we'll see what happens. So this is just a sample pile of the kindling that I put in to every bag. I put probably about a dozen pieces or so of this in. It's a mix. This is a little piece of walnut, some pieces of red oak here. You know, as I've mentioned before, a lot of my customers, particularly at this time of the year, they are doing fire pits, and they're doing it outside. They're probably doing it as part of entertaining, or, you know, they're just enjoying their own time. And they don't really, I know from speaking to them, they really don't want to take a lot of effort to build their fire. They want it to get going pretty quickly. I have access to essentially an endless supply of this kindling. So I thought, you know, why not just as an added perk, throw in the kindling along with the regular firewood. It helps me, it helps them. It's definitely, there's no question, this was actually Beth's idea. Boy, there's a beautiful chunk of oak there. Look at that. That is pretty. Beth actually suggested this when we started selling the firewood a while ago, and maybe, probably well over a year ago. We had only been selling it for maybe 6 months. And I thought, well, you know, it sounded like a little bit of extra work, but in reality it's not. It's a really small amount of work. And like I said, I have an endless supply of this. Some of it is from my own work. Some of it actually, a lot of it actually comes from a couple of woodworking shops that are within a couple of miles of our property here, and they have scrap bins outside of their shops, big, you know, kind of trash dumpster bins that they just throw all the scraps in. I think you might have seen a video where I was salvaging pallets from this company, but I do get their woodworking scraps as well, and it's great. You know, I help them out. It kind of minimizes their it takes, you know, it gives them a little more longevity for their trash bins, so the trash company doesn't have to come and pick it up as often, saves them some money, helps me out. And there is no question that it has boosted sales since we started doing this. So I don't know, you know, maybe depending on the size of the pieces, maybe it's probably more than a dozen pieces I put in there. I just kind of weave them in. Some are thick, some are thin, but you know, it's enough that they can quickly, you know, maybe with a couple pieces of newspaper, get a fire started very, very quickly, so that they're not wasting any time. They can enjoy the fire or their family time. So I typically get about 8 to 10 good chunks of firewood, and then the kindling in there. And I've gotten some comments before regarding using the firewood bags, and I know that this is a more expensive way to do it versus using plastic and wrapping. However, you really cannot offer the kindling strips in the bundle when you wrap, because they're going to fall out. So the good news is that probably half of my customers who are purchasing the bundle bags actually return the empty bags to me. So and I encourage them. I have a little sign out on our cash box saying, you know, returned bags welcome. And once I put that out there, people are returning the bags, and these things are durable. I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 cycles out of one bag, you know, and you know, I know pretty much know the customers who are doing this, so it's worked out really well. I think in the end, it's probably not as expensive as some people might think. So I've got a few more of these to make up, and we'll load up the rack. Looks like only 2 left. Who would have ever thought? Middle of summer, and we're basically emptying this thing out almost every day. I generally put in bags multiples of 2. Most people will buy 2 bags at a time. They get a little bit of a discount if they do that. So anyhow, thanks so much for watching. Just wanted to share with some of you. I know some of you are new subscribers. Thank you all for everybody who's subscribed in the last few weeks. We've added probably 20 or 30 subscribers in the last few weeks, and I just wanted to kind of throw a quick firewood video in there because that is something that we are actually doing all the time. So really appreciate you all watching, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe, share these videos, give us a thumbs up. Until next time, John here from Catbird Hill. Take care.